What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Mutt and Junkyard Deluxe set. So this is really cool where we get Mutt, so he looks pretty awesome as like the canine handler for the Joes. And then we get his best friend of Junkyard, the dog, which looks pretty cool, like the Rottweiler. So it looks pretty cool with all the accessories we're going to get there. Of course, back to the window packaging so we can see our figure and stuff laid out there. But cool artwork there on the side of the two of them looking all mean. Of course, that same picture there on the side, and it's 113 in the line. And an awesome scenery sort of breakdown there with Mutt with the gun and Junkyard sort of jumping at you there in the wood background. And then again, some of the features there of the different characters and of course their classifications down there. So looks very cool. I'm super excited about this. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So here we have Mutt, whose real name is Stanley Perlmutter from Iceland, New Jersey. He's a complete natural with animals that grew up surrounded with many pets, so this connection makes him an excellent trainer and closer to dogs than people, and he's the Joe team's dog handler, or their like canine unit. And overall, I think he looks really cool here. Like this design line, of course his face looks cool with his black hair sort of swept to the side and his wicked cool mustache. So to me, he almost looks like Burt Reynolds. And then I like his design where he's got mostly all green, so he has like this green suit from obviously his neck and arms all the way down his legs, but then the brown on top of that, of course, like his training gear with like the red stripes and stuff, just adds that pop of color, makes it stand out. But overall, I think he looks pretty cool. So there we have his face. Of course, he has like a scar there on his face with that mustache, as I mentioned, has almost like a 5 o'clock shadow, so he has some shadowing going on there. And then of course his hair that looks like he's been wearing a helmet or something, so it's kind of flattened his hair down, but you can see he's got hair on his chest as well as on his forearm, so he's a hairy guy with the green shirt on, so has the collar up and the sleeves, then has the pants that come down, so he could be in like a jumpsuit sort of design, you know, in a whole jumpsuit there. But then he has the brown vest that has a sheath on one side, some extra bullets and stuff there, has a little badge that almost looks like, you know, police badge sort of design there with the red stripes going around to the back. And then he has a belt on with some like extra pockets and a thing of probably like mace or something hanging off there. And then I like how he's got the black glove on the one side, but on the other side he's got the big thick glove that's, you know, like so a dog can bite onto it and stuff and not damage you, so it's like a training glove, which is pretty cool. Then he's got the green pants, as I already mentioned, with the knee pads, has a thigh holster on his thigh all the way down to the brown boots that have some black details there on the front of them. So overall, like I said, just color wise and stuff, I really like this design, but of course it's the accessories that make him the coolest part. Now movement wise, we get the head that'll twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far, so a little bit of movement in the head. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth, and of course that rotates all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far, which isn't bad at all. The wrist will twist all the way around and has the hinge up and down for this hand. Then we go to the ab crunch, which again will be covered by the vest, but can crunch a little bit back and forth, but mostly it's at the waist where he twists around as well. Then down to the hips up to 90 and out to the side for splits. Of course, those drop down hips, thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that's going to be real stiff on him, but can bend up that far to the back, and again, if you kind of force it, can kick himself in the butt. We get the shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So besides the stiffness in the knee, everything else works out just fine. Now for accessories, as you saw in the pack, he does come with some additional hands. We don't get that a lot with Joe characters, but we do get some various hands that you can use for kind of like sign language to help control the dogs. So we'll just kind of go through it. So for the right hand, we have what looks to be almost like a cupping hand, so almost like a little bit of a cup design. We get a fist hand as well as a pointing finger hand, so we have those three options. And then for the left, we have this hand, which I don't know what's going on here. So he has his finger on his hand like this, almost like a trigger finger, but it's not open down here, so it's like together like that. So I don't know if that's supposed to be some sort of sign language, because I don't know sign language. He has a hand that's kind of doing this sort of design, so which I know that's the sign language. And then he has more of like just an open palm hand sort of there, so obviously you can just sort of do different hand signals with that, but since I don't know like sign language and stuff, I don't know what he's supposed to be doing, but just hand movements to be able to guide the dogs. Now he also comes with a set of goggles, so we have goggles that we can slide onto his face. So he has the goggles on there, which look kind of weird and awkward, and since we're here, we do also get a muzzle that we can put on him, so instead of the dog having a muzzle, we have a muzzle for him. So I think to be able to get this on, or like the easiest way, is you have to pop his head off and sort of slide this onto his face and then put the head back on. So let me try that. So yeah, there he has the muzzle now, which is pretty fun. I don't think it looks too good with the goggles, so we'll go and take the goggles off, but I like having that that muzzle on there just since it covers up his face. So I think it looks pretty cool, and he's got a mean, angry face. We do also get a helmet that goes on him, so just kind of like a plain basic helmet that we can slide onto his head. Of course, as usual with the helmets, they feel a little bit loose, so we may have to try the goggle trick where you put the goggles on the back of his head with the band up around his hairline just to kind of help hold it on. And then we also get another set of goggles that can slide on top of the helmet. So there's the goggles on top of his helmet, which I think look pretty good. I actually like that design quite a bit. But now for weapons, first we get a knife, so just kind of like a basic look, doesn't look that good of a knife that we can stick into the holster here on his chest. We also get a pistol, so we have the little pistol that has some green on it, which I think is cool, and we can put this into the thigh holster here on his right leg. So it just slides right down in there. What's cool with him is he also comes with a nightstick. So we saw this more recently with Shockwave. So it's cool that he comes with a nightstick as well. So we have this, we just sort of stick into his hand however we went there. So just so he has the nightstick, but of course we don't really want to use that. But then he also comes with his signature M16, which is pretty cool with some green there. So we have of course the magazine that does come out. He has the scope up top and stuff, and all that just looks pretty cool. So let's put this into his hands. So there I put the gun in his left hand since he does have the up and down hinges and trigger finger on the left hand as well. Went ahead and put it in there and then switched out his right hand for the pointing hand so he can be yelling and guiding Junkyard to attack for him. So I went ahead and set him up for that, which is pretty cool. And then of course we get his signature pet of Junkyard to go along with him, which is the smartest and best trained dog that is friendlier to others, making him more popular than Mutt. So overall looks pretty cool. Again, like this Rottweiler design looks pretty awesome. I love how he's got the vest on, like the training vest has the little harness here so Mutt can pull him off if he's attacking somebody. Love how he's got the studded collar there in red around his neck, and of course a nice angry face on there. Looks pretty awesome as well with showing his teeth off. And then we have the body. Of course we've had this with like Timber with the Snake Eyes figures, so we have the same like sort of dog joints that will go through, but like has a little nubby tail there in the back, so all that looks pretty cool. But for movements, we do have the head that does move a little bit back and forth, so it can move up and down there, and of course side to side and twist around. And then I think he does have a movement down here at the neck as well, so the head can move up and down a little bit and twist side to side, so just additional movements in there. Then we go to legs, so the front legs do move back and forth there at what would be the body, so they move in and out and back and forth. And then we have the different joints, so it'd be kind of like knee joints and stuff. So we have this one that can bend up a little, bend back and forth, and all of these have twists in them as well, so they can twist. And then we have this joint here that just sort of rocks back and forth, and then we have the foot that can move back and forth and twist side to side as well. Then we go back to what'd be like an ab crunch, so he can crunch back and forth here and side to side and twist around, so good movements for that. And then pretty similar with the back legs, so the hips move back and forth and in and out a little to the what'd be the knee joint that can bend back. Of course this one I think is the stiff one, can bend back there. Of course with the rotation we have that hinge spot right there, and then the foot will rock back and forth and twist side to side, so you get those different movements to be able to pose them around and everything, but it all just sort of works out there. And with Junkyard we do also get an additional head, so we can have more of a good boy head where his tongue's sort of hanging out there, so he's not as mean or angry. Of course for this we'll want him in the mean and angry form, but just fun to get that additional head because I think that'd be pretty fun. But of course we can have Mutt and Junkyard here together now as a team side by side ready to attack. And as I mentioned, pretty similar for Junkyard, we've had Timber, so it's going to be pretty much the same, but as you can see Timber is going to be much bigger than Junkyard, not a whole lot, but he is going to be a bigger animal, so he's just a little bit taller than Junkyard all around, which makes sense since he's a wolf and not a pet. But still really cool to have both of these together, so to have Mutt and Junkyard together is really cool. Love the design of Mutt. Junkyard of course is lovable, who wouldn't want that dog? So all around this is a really cool set. So let me know what you thought of it though down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.